What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to GamerFuzion. Palworld just got its 1.0.3 update, and this one is aimed squarely at the endgame grind. Pocketpair pushed it out on August 12th across every supported platform. On paper, it is a balance and system patch. In practice, it quietly undoes a lot of the walls people have been hitting since 1.0 landed. There are unlock levels being slashed by dozens of levels. There is a resource economy being loosened across the board, and there is a pile of crash fixes on console, including one that was hard blocking the main story. What makes this interesting is what is not in it. There is no new content here at all. This is purely Pocketpair reacting to how people are actually playing the endgame. Everything I am covering comes straight from the official patch notes. Let us break down what actually changed. Quick context if you have not touched the game in a while. Palworld 1.0 landed on July 10th, and it ended the early access run that started back in January 2024. It was the biggest update the game has ever had. The map was doubled in size. The world tree finally opened up as the endgame and the setting for the end of the main story. There is a new sky island called Sunreach. 72 new pals brought the total to 287. Pocketpair also added the awakening and mutation systems on top of all of that. The studio called 1.0 feature complete, meaning the core game is finished. So everything since then has been about polish, and that is exactly what this patch is. The headline changes the unlock levels, and two of them are genuinely big. Jetragon is the flying mount most people have been chasing since launch. Some of the Jetragon technologies have moved from level 79 down to level 70. The patch notes also confirm the materials for the PAL gear used to ride Jetragon have been reduced. That is a meaningful chunk of grind taken off the endgame. The second one is even bigger. The Aquatic Construction Kit dropped from level 66 all the way down to level 23. Its ancient technology point cost went from 4 down to 1, and the required materials and work amount were adjusted too. That is not a tweak. Water bases just went from a late game project to something you can build in the early hours. Here are the numbers side by side because these are the ones worth screenshotting. Jetragon technology from 79 to 70. The Aquatic Construction Kit from 66 to 23 with its ancient technology point cost cut from 4 to 1. World Tree Holy Water weight dropped from 1 all the way to 0.1. And the amount of fiber you get from trees has been doubled. That last one sounds small until you remember how much fiber every single base project eats. World Tree Holy Water got the most attention in this patch, and that tells you something. This is the endgame resource tied to the World Tree, and it has clearly been a pain point. The patch notes list 5 separate changes to it. The duration has been extended. The weight went from 1 down to 0.1, so you can actually carry a stack of it now. It has been added to the rewards for World Tree expeditions, World Tree fishing, and the large fishing pond. The amount you get from pals in the World Tree area went up, and the amount from T-Font Spring went up as well. When a studio touches one item in 5 different ways in a single patch, that is them admitting the acquisition rate was wrong. Base building got the same treatment. The building costs for the crude oil extractor, the high pressure crude oil extractor, and the large power generator have all come down. On top of that, the crude oil production speed on both extractors went up. So they cost less to put down and they produce faster once they are running. The high pressure crude oil extractor now also counts toward base missions, which it did not before. Building got some real quality of life too. Stair and slanted roof placement detection was fixed, and you can now place stairs properly on foundations and roofs. If you have ever fought that snapping system at 2 in the morning, you know exactly why that one matters. What is the change here you actually wanted most? Let me know down in the comments. Now, the fixes that matter most if you were actually stuck. There was a crash on PlayStation 5 that hit players using parental controls when they opened the global PAL box. That is fixed. There was a separate crash on Xbox One near the field bosses in the World Tree area. Also fixed, and there was a genuine progression blocker where removing the Sunreach barrier could stop the main mission from advancing. That one is resolved, which matters because Sunreach is one of the headline areas from 1.0. A cursor bug on the world selection screen got cleaned up too. None of these are glamorous. All of them were the difference between playing the game and closing it. Multiplayer got a solid pass as well. Lighting on the client side after cutscenes was displaying wrong and has been corrected. The stuttering when entering the World Tree cutscene is fixed. On dedicated servers, there was an issue where fast travel could trigger unintentionally during tower boss battles, and that is gone. PALs rapidly vibrating on client screens got fixed too. There is also a new server setting for admins that controls whether enemy camps can spawn near a base camp. On the exploit side, an item duplication bug was closed. So was a trick involving Katris and sphere switching. Summoned pals were also stopping combat and stopping their base work, and both of those are fixed. The pals themselves got a round of fixes too. Orserk had a partner skill effect that was not displaying correctly in multiplayer, and that has been corrected. Alpha Surfent was not producing leather in the ranch at all, which is exactly the kind of bug you only notice hours later when your supply has quietly run dry. That one is fixed. On the boss side, raid boss progression issues have been sorted out. Panthalus had its attack wave effects and damage ranges corrected, so what you see on screen now matches what actually hits you. The rewards from the Moonlord and the Ultra Raid boss battles have been updated as well. The patch notes do not spell out the new numbers, so that is one worth checking yourself in game. Then there is the long tail of polish, and there is more of it than you would expect. Boundary visibility in distant areas was improved, and dungeon object quality got a bump. On the audio side, they added a usage sound for World Tree Holy Water, fixed the Tiefent Spring water sound failing to play, and stopped furniture from triggering footstep sounds. The Attack Chopper music range was adjusted for server play. On PC, there were two full-screen bugs worth knowing about. Full-screen resolution was not applying properly, and using F11 or Alt and Enter could revert you out of it. Both are fixed. There was also a screen blur that could trigger while aiming with certain effects active, and that has been cleaned up. On the control side, the restore function for the attack that enemy key was not working, and settings inside the controls dialogues were applying when they should not have been. Both sorted. Ancient Armor had its crafting work amount adjusted. Sphere launchers now have proper firing intervals. Desert Expedition rewards were corrected. Dark Skill Fruit visibility in search was fixed, and the beach display lingering on offshore base water surfaces is gone. So what does this tell us? Pocketpair said 1.0 was feature complete, and this patch backs that up. There is no new content in here at all. Every single line is either a fix or a cost coming down. That is a studio watching how people actually played the end game and pulling the grind back where it was too steep. It is also worth saying that none of this was announced with a roadmap or a teaser. It just landed. If you bounced off the World Tree because the resource loop felt too slow, this is a reasonable moment to load your save back up. The game is in a very different state than it was on launch day. That is the full breakdown on Palworld 1.0.3. I will keep you posted the moment Pocketpair drops anything else, so subscribe and turn on notifications so you do not miss it. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.